Copacabana is famous for its beach, but it also has a fort, where, nearly 100 years ago, a handful of rebels became part of Brazilian history. Junior army officers in Rio planned a revolt, to be started by one of the cannons at Fort Copacabana. But all the other rebels around Rio quickly surrendered, leaving those in Fort Copacabana isolated. The government, with thousands of loyal troops under its command, demanded that the fort surrender. In reply, the rebels used its guns, and the citizens of Rio witnessed a fight between the fort and the ships of the Brazilian Navy. The rebel leader then left the fort to discuss surrender, but he was promptly arrested, leaving a Lieutenant Siqueira Campos in charge. There were around 300 soldiers left in the fort, and they were given the chance to leave. Less than 30 of them, including 4 lieutenants, decided to fight on. The next day they made a fateful decision to leave the fort and march to the presidential palace, a few miles away to the north of Copacabana beach. Before leaving, each soldier was given a piece of the fort's flag. Some of them are now on display in the fort's museum. At around 2 in the afternoon, the soldiers left the fort, with orders not to fire unless attacked. No government troops were there to meet them, but as they advanced, some of the soldiers took the opportunity to flee. The Copacabana seafront has changed greatly since that day in 1922. The Londres Hotel, where they stopped for a break, is long demolished. By the time they left the hotel, some more soldiers had disappeared, but a civilian engineer had joined the rebels, and he was given a rifle. The rebels marched on until they reached the Rua Barroso, which today is the Rua Siqueira Campos. Here waited hundreds of government soldiers, and near today's monument their officers tried to reason with Siqueira Campos, but he was determined to continue. As they argued, a shot was fired, killing one rebel and leaving probably 15 others to face overwhelming odds. They split into 2 groups, most running to the beach and taking cover behind the mosaic street. After more than an hour, the rebels ran out of ammunition. 2 managed to escape before government troops attacked with fixed bayonets. Though probably inaccurate, the number 18 became part of the story. But whatever the true number, somehow 2 of the lieutenants, Siqueira Campos and Eduardo Gomes, survived and recovered from their wounds. both continued their involvement in the revolts against the Brazilian government. Siqueira Campos joined the Prestes column, a movement inspired by the sacrifice of the 18 of the fort, only to be killed in an aircraft accident in 1930. A park in central Sao Paulo is today named after him. Eduardo Gomes left a quite different legacy to Brazilian life. When he stood for president, his supporters, using condensed milk, made cakes to help his campaign. These delicacies are today enjoyed throughout Brazil and in Copacabana, the site of the famous march of the 18 from the fort.